Hi everyone, it's Intang Mayumi. I have 3 cards using Kindred Stamps limited edition Your Super card kit. This card kit has the Kindred Stamps sequin mixes and it comes with blue sequin mixes and red sequin mixes. It also comes with this candy sticks here and 3 flare buttons that has Metal Dude, Amazing Muscle Guy, and Mischievous Bad Brother. The kit also has this create your own comic book and I already gave this to my son and he's already using it. It also comes with this Kindred Stamps sticker sheet and they also included 2 of each design with this pattern papers. The card kit also has this Kindred Stamps stencil. They also included the 6x8 stamp set and this one is called Your Super Stamp Set. This video is a card collaboration with my crafty BFF Cherryl Sabado here on YouTube. I will leave her link in my description down below so you can check her channel out. I went ahead and colored my images using my Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. After I colored and fussy cut them all, I used my Memento Tuxedo black marker to color the white edges so they look seamless. And I didn't use all of them on my cards today, but I will use them later for future projects or cards in the future. For my first card, I'm using this Tim Holtz brick stencil and I'm taping my card base onto my surface so it doesn't move when I do my ink blending. And I also tape down my brick stencil. I use Vintage Photo Distress ink to do my ink blending. And then I'm going to remove the stencil and tape it again because this brick stencil is not wide enough and it doesn't cover the whole card base. And then I went back and lightly color the white part of my card base with the same ink. Peel the post-it tape and then I also lightly color the top of my card base. I use one of the paper that is included in the card kit and I'm going to die cut this using Gina Marie Designs pennant die. For my sentiment, I use this Have a Super Day sentiment from the stamp set and I'm going to mount my sentiment on a clear block. I'm going to use scraps of this blue shimmery cardstock that I have in my stash and this strip of paper here is perfect for my sentiment. I'm using Versamark ink to ink up my sentiment and stamp it on the paper and I'm going to emboss it with Wow Opaque Bright White embossing powder and melt all the powder using my heat tool. Using my scissor, I cut both ends of my sentiment. And now I'm ready to adhere everything on my card base. I'm using double-sided tape on this pennant die cut. Peel the backing off and adhere it on my card base. I use foam tape on the back of my image. I think he looks much better than the Amazing Muscle Guy on the paper that I die cut. I also use foam tape on the back of my sentiment. Peel the backing off and adhere it on my card base. For the inside of my card, I use this Fiskars 4x8 stamp set and this is called Kapow stamp set. So I mounted my image on a clear block and I'm using Barn Door Distress ink to ink up my image. Before I stamp it in the inside of my card, I tried it on my surface first because this one is not photopolymer, they're clear stamps. And I should have used my um, stamping tool, but I didn't on this one. I don't know why, but I'm inking up this sentiment here that says POW with the Hero Arts blue reactive ink that I got uh, from Hero Arts card kit last month, and I'm coloring the open areas on this sentiment with my Prismacolor pencil. And my first card is finished. So this is what it looks like in the inside of the card and in front. For my second card, I used the Skyline uh, pattern paper that is included in the card kit. And I'm also using this die set, and I'm just using that larger one there. So I die cut the pattern paper, and I'm going to use double-sided tape on the back of the die cut piece, remove the backing, and I'm going to add this clear acetate, and then I'm going to use my scissor to remove the excess clear acetate. For my clear acetate, I use thermal laminating pouches. I run it through my laminating machine twice, and that's how I did it. You can also use acetate from stickers or any clear packaging that you may have laying around in your house. So I made a mistake here. I should have inlaid this die cut first on my card base before I adhere my acetate. So what I did is I die cut another one, and I use post-it tape to tape down the outer piece so I can inlay the inside part. I use Tombow liquid glue to adhere the inlay piece on my card base and just remove this white die cut. I use foam tape on the back of this acetate panel and cut them to fit on the outer edge of the panel. I run my powder tool in the inside so when I add my sequins later, they're not going to stick on the foam tape. I use both of the sequin mixes on my cards today. I remove all the beads from the sequin mixes, which is not a lot, so it didn't take me a long time. Because if I add them too, they are not going to move inside the shaker, and I don't want to double up my foam tape. I like some of the sequins that is mixed in because they are flat, so they can move easily even if your foam tape is just one layer. After I'm done removing the beads from the sequin mixes, I remove the foam tape backing and adhere my acetate panel on top of the sequins. So the next step is I'm going to adhere my images on the card. So I want to adhere the 4 of them on my card, but I can only fit 3. So I decided that the lightning hammer guy will go in the inside of the card. I love this Kindred Stamps Your Super Stamp Set. My family and I are a huge fan of superheroes, so this is perfect for making cards for them. I will leave Kindred Stamps link in my description down below just in case you haven't heard of them and want to check them out. For the inside of my card, I'm going to use my scraps of the Skyline pattern paper and cut it using my Fiskars trimmer. And use double-sided tape on the back of the paper. Peel the backing off and adhere it in the inside of my card. Cut the excess paper using my Fiskars trimmer. And again, I use double-sided tape on the back of my image and a little bit of the glue and adhere it in the inside of my card. For the sentiment, I use Your Super Kid sentiment and I'm putting that sentiment in the inside of the card using VersaFine Onyx Black ink. And my second card is finished. I had so much fun making this shaker card, and I think the pattern paper matches the sequin mixes. For my third card, I used this Kindred Stamp stencil that came in the card kit. I used removable adhesive to hold down my panel, and I'm going to tape this stencil using post-it tape so the stencil doesn't move when I do my ink blending again. For this card, I used Distress Ink Oxides, and the first one is Broken China, Faded Jeans, Salty Ocean, Peacock Feathers, Blueprint Sketch, and Mermaid Lagoon. I ink blend the colors on each of the thought bubble. And this one didn't take me a long time. I just covered the open areas with the distress inks. And after I apply the colors, I'm going to remove the stencil. I used the Fiskars clear stamp set again on this card and pick the sentiment that I like. I use my Tim Holtz platform to stamp the images, and I will ink them up with VersaFine Onyx Black ink and stamp them a couple of times to get good impression. Before I move on to the next step, I dry the ink using my heat tool. I use Barn Door Distress ink to ink the outer edges of my panel. I use double-sided tape to adhere my panel onto my card base. I die cut a blue glitter paper and white cardstock using my oval stitch dies. I use foam tape on the back of my image, and then I'm going to adhere it on top of the oval die cut, and I use glue to adhere this piece on my card base. For the inside of my card, I use this image from the Fiskars clear stamp set, and I'm going to ink it with Memento London Fog ink, and I'm going to stamp this a couple of times to get good impression. And I use one of the sentiment from the Kindred Stamps Your Super Stamp Set, and it's the some people don't believe in heroes but they haven't met my, and then I'm going to use teacher, and I will stamp that under that sentiment using VersaFine Onyx Black ink. And my card is finished. So here are my cards that I made today using Kindred Stamps limited edition Your Super card kit. As always, thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. I hope you liked today's card, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.